Hello Nova Nation and welcome here to the A2 tailgate lot as we get ready for playoff football. Round one of the FCS playoffs, Villanova and Eastern Kentucky here with Joe of Villanova Football Club. Joe, always great to be with you, buddy.
David, always great to be with you. Thank you so much for your great support of our football and our football club. Really, we love what you do.
Well, thank you so much, Joe. It means the world to me. Always great to stop by and hear some different stories. And speaking of stories, we're going to be talking about our favorite playoff stories here today throughout the years of Villanova football. Joe's going to get us started. Joe, favorite football playoff memory for Villanova?
All right, favorite football playoff memory. So I'm going to save some from some other people, but I'm going to grab a good one early here for you, David.
Okay, sounds good.
2009. Villanova marches all the way and wins the national championship against
Montana.
Really good
story.
yeah, no, that's not my story. My story is where it all started. So, New Hampshire beat us during the year, and we had a great team. Really hurt us, we remembered it all season long. Who do we draw in the first round of the playoffs? New Hampshire. We have to play New Hampshire again. Not only do we have to play New Hampshire again, we play them in a blizzard.
Wow.
I mean, there's snow. It's like, this is football in December. And we take them out. Not only do we beat New Hampshire, 46-7.
Not even close.
That sent us on our way. Unbelievable. This is where we're at today. It's so hard to get to these playoffs. And we do it like it's our job,
That's right.
We're so successful at FCS football, we want everybody to enjoy it.
And obviously, as I said earlier, great ending to that season, obviously, becoming FCS national champs. But I also like your story last week, Joe. You were talking about, if you haven't seen it, you can go back and watch it on my social media about the story
Please
in Delaware. It was so hot, 96, 97
Oh
degrees
yeah,
in
he
that
turns
locker
up the locker
years ago.
the heat. No, the stories we have are unbelievable. And if without David here, he's archiving this stuff. And these are great stories to tell with our 1,300 members that are in the football club.
Sounds good, Joe. Well, hopefully it was a complete blowout against New Hampshire back in 2009. Hopefully we have a blowout to start the round one of the FCS playoffs against Eastern Kentucky today.
I have another quick story.
Okay, sure, please. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so he knows I run the football club Twitter account. So there's a guy from Eastern Kentucky, coach.
This week?
This week.
Okay.
Some coach from Eastern Kentucky, not the current coach, but a high school coach. He's rallying the troops in Kentucky, and he got a bus, and he's going to drive from Kentucky, and he needs people to come. So I see this, and I start promoting it. So I start going back and forth with the guy, and a Villanova operations guy sees it.
Okay.
And he says, we'll get you in our lot. And so the guy's driving a bus up from Kentucky. We got his bus in the lot, and they're going to tailgate with us here at the football club. How great is that?
All right.
We've never played Eastern Kentucky before, and we have them tailgating with us.
I didn't even know that. All right, so we'll stay tuned for more footage of that. But Joe, thank you so much. Appreciate it as always, buddy. Stay tuned for much more action. We'll have more interviews coming up. Hi everybody, welcome back here to the tailgating scene outside of Villanova Stadium. Just about 2 or 3 hours into kickoff between Villanova and Eastern Kentucky here in round one of the FCS playoffs. Glad to be with Joe here from Villanova Football Club, as well as Kyle Fay's parents. Joe, how are you doing today,
I'm
buddy?
doing great, David. Always great when Villanova's playing.
Well, here we are going to talk with Kyle Fay's parents. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
having us.
So, guys, what do you love so much about Villanova football? Of course, your son, freshman star offensive lineman for our team. What do you love about Villanova football and just kind of the tailgating scene out here outside the stadium?
I think it's the coaches. They set the standard. Coach Ferrante, Coach Devine, Coach Bowden. They just really take these kids under their wing. They recruit kids of character. The school's absolutely incredible. The tailgating is incredible. This man here makes tailgating even more special. As you can tell, he hates being in front of the TV. He hates talking, but he gets out of himself and really pushes Villanova football, and he makes the whole the football season that much more special.
I have a question. So we're close to you guys now, and they're members of the football club, which they're parents, but they're also members of the football club. That's how much they embrace it. But Kyle is like what, 6'9"?
6'7".
6'7", what, 3?
He'll take 6'9", I'm sure,
Yeah.
right?
No, he's big.
6'7", 300 pounds.
300 pounds. What was he like growing up? I mean, how big was he at birth? Like 5 feet tall or what?
Put it this way. At kindergarten, when everybody's coming out looking for the kids that first day, I never had to go, Where is it? There he is.
He was always in the back in the pictures, I'm sure.
Yes,
But
always.
he's such a great athlete. How did he end up at Villanova? Because you would say, this kid's like an NFL prospect. He should be at like Notre Dame, whatever. Like, how did he end up here?
He was getting recruited by the Power 5 schools, which is really now Power 4. He got a couple offers, Illinois, Boston College, but then he tore his ACL playing basketball his junior year. And anybody that knows anything about recruiting, it's a business. And they all disappeared. We came down here 2 days before his surgery. Coach Devine gave us a tour of this campus. He fell in love with it. We had looked at some other schools, and he just said, this is where I want to go. He could have waited to see if any other schools were going to be interested. I mean, he's like, Dad, I like Villanova, and committed 3 days later. Called up Coach Fronte and said, we're here.
I'm going to tie this into another great Villanova story. So, Brian Westbrook is in the Eagles Hall of Fame, nominated to be in the NFL Hall of Fame, one of our greatest players ever, one of the great NFL players ever. Similar situation. He's at the Matha, plays basketball and football, recruited by everybody, slips on ice before his senior year and tears his knee. And Coach Talley went down and says, I have a scholarship for you. Brian never looked back. One of our biggest supporters. He's in the board of the football club. I mean, but that's your son.
Yeah.
I tell you all the time, I know, I don't want to jinx it, but this kid's playing in the NFL. You got to come out and watch him. Not only is he big, he can move. He was a basketball player. He's got great feet, great hands. I mean, he's got everything as an offensive lineman, especially a tackle.
Yeah. And I think what's so cool about that too is just from talking with people. I mean, you always hear about Villanova culture, right, and the people, but specifically hearing from it from the parents of a player, I think is really important too.
Well, you know what? His mother loves the academics. Not that she could care less about couldn't care less about football, but her son's a good student, and he's at Villanova, so he's got a pretty good backup job lined up for himself.
Yeah. And last question for you guys. Any predictions for today's game against Eastern Kentucky?
Go Cats.
37-14.
Okay,
Villanova.
Sounds good. We'll definitely take the blowout.
Well, I'll take that.
But any win, we'll take here to get to round 2 of the FCS playoffs. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Kyle Faye's parents.
you.
And Joe, as always. And let's get Go Cats!
Go Cats! Go Cats!
Welcome back here to the Villanova Football Tailgate, just about 2 hours away from Villanova and Eastern Kentucky, round 1 of the FCS playoffs. Back here with some more favorite playoff memories here at the Villanova Football Club Tailgate, and I'm here with
Bob Phillips and my kids.
Juliana.
And Connor Phillips.
Great to be with you guys. I know you were saying that kids have been to so many games. You played football here.
I graduated in '88 when he brought the program back, and then she was actually here 6 months old. We have a picture with her with the cat, Wildcat, little green cat holding her, and people have held them in the crowd. We've been season ticket holders the whole time, so we've had fun, and the guys have continued the tradition.
Wow, so what is your favorite playoff memory, would you say, Bob?
Well, it's tough to beating Delaware all the time.
That's a good one, recently.
But the favorite one would have been being here in the snow when we played New Hampshire. It was probably 6, 8, 10 inches of snow on the ground, and I think we just brushed them off the floor. Scored when they kicked off. They fumbled. We got the ball, and I think it ended up being from there on, and we won. That was the year we won the final championship down in Chattanooga.
Wow. And you guys have been here with your dad for a long time. Do you have a favorite playoff memory?
Probably going against Youngstown State. It was like cold, but we got through it, and Villanova beat them pretty bad. And
yeah, I always hear about the New Hampshire game, Youngstown State game. We've heard. Any predictions for today, guys, against Eastern Kentucky?
Villanova win.
Okay. Any score prediction?
31-22.
All right, 31-22.
28-10.
Okay.
I've been hearing about Eastern Kentucky. They got some decent players.
They do. Rushing attack, Joshua Carter, their running back, really their best player, over 1,100 rushing yards, 13 rushing touchdowns.
I heard they got a D-back, and I guess it's an offensive tackle already in the Hula Bowl, so they got some talent.
Yeah, definitely some talent.
But I think coming up here in the cold is going to be a little bit of a problem for them, and I think it's with our defense playing as well as we can, it's probably more of a 28-7 game.
Sounds good. And hopefully, I mean, any win we'll take, right? Survive and advance. We hear about it during March Madness. So let's get to round 2 of the FCS playoffs, hopefully next weekend. Stay tuned for much more action, everybody. Thank you to Bob and his family for stopping by.
David.
And let's get one more Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Cats. Welcome back here to the tailgate outside Villanova Stadium. Almost 2 hours left to go between kickoff of round 1 of the FCS playoffs between Villanova and Eastern Kentucky. We interviewed a lot of Nova Nation earlier, but we're here with Eastern Kentucky, some of their fans who have made the trip up from Eastern Kentucky, and especially Coach Ron. Coach Ron, well, welcome to Villanova.
Thank you so much.
And I've talked with a lot of people, and people just kind of want to know. We've never played; these two schools have never matched up before, matching up for the first time here today at Villanova Stadium. So, being a coach there, history on the school, anything that you'd like to share about your season? Pretty good one. 8-4 winners of the last 5.
It's been pretty good. It's been kind of up and down. We started kind of slow, and then and I need to tell you, I don't coach for the team. I coach kids before. I have a son that plays on the team. Most of the folks that came with us are parents, and we've got some fans too. But we've had a good season. We've got a senior quarterback, Matt Morrissey. We've got what we think is a pretty good running back in Joshua Carter. And
They're over 1,000 rushing yards this season.
Yes, sir. And we think we've got a decent defense, kind of bend but don't break and whatnot. Notable players. A couple of years ago, we had a guy named T.K. McClendon who plays for the Tennessee Titans. Matt Jackson plays for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then last year we had a guy, Josiah Aziram, who got drafted by the New Orleans Saints. Most notable, you can't really mention Eastern Kentucky without mentioning our coach, or our greatest coach, is Roy Kidd, who's in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yep.
I think he's maybe 3rd or 4th on the all-time wins list, and was the coach for over 40 years at Eastern Kentucky. Located in Richmond, which is about 30 miles south of Lexington, and we're ready to play. I appreciate everybody's hospitality.
Of course. Well, thanks for being here. So I have to ask, has anyone been here before to Philadelphia?
No, sir. First time.
You have to try a cheesesteak.
Yes, sir.
After this.
Yes,
okay, yeah, definitely. So I was going to ask you, it's kind of our tradition here. We ask different people, if you ever had a cheesesteak before, what is your favorite cheesesteak? But for you guys, hopefully you'll try one soon.
We'll just have to try one here.
Well, sounds good. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yes,
Villanova,
thank you so much.
Eastern Kentucky in 2 hours. Have a great day, everybody, and stay tuned for more.
EKU.